There we go, Lotus. You're
Yeah,
in.
because I want to invite
There
some
she
people
is.
on. There she is.
All right.
Retrograde.
This is good fun, y'all.
If you need to share it out to get other
You
people.
know, this is how exciting this work is, that it literally creates this. I've never experienced anything like it, of trying to get this work out, and every time it's like I gotta push through some walls or something. But I got a lot of friends, so we're gonna make it happen. Welcome, Cecilia. Glad you could join us. Yeah. Amazing that you're all here. Literally, it is a miracle. It is a miracle. Like, thank you all so much for being here. Oh my gosh, Crystal's here. Awesome. We have more people joining the party. This is fantastic. So we just did some energy clearing, Crystal. I think everyone's, and Cecilia. Why don't, since we have some new people and we just moved around and we were really relaxed, let's clear out some of that energy. So anything stressful from the day, yeah, any stressful, like we're at an event and there's so much energy, right? Just shake it out. Just shake it out. So rub your hands together. Remember that your hands connect to every single organ of your body. And when you clear, you can actually clear your heart. You can clear all of your chakras. You can clear your glands. So everyone take a deep breath and let's see your hands. Let's see each other's hands. And remember, this is the center of our palm that connects to our hearts. So as we shine our hands out to each other, we're actually sending love across the beautiful interweb. And how powerful is that? And what are we doing? What kind of a ripple are we having on the planet right now, right? If we're focused on love and we're sending that love out, holy cow. All right, so anything that's come up, it's been an intense day on the planet today, right? There's a lot going on the world stage. So rub your hands together and imagine any stress, imagine any tension, anything you've picked up on that you don't really need. You rub your hands together and it's like you're building a fire, like a fire of energy, right? And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and just feel how we have a collective energy field here. And sometimes that's overwhelming as a sensitive person to feel each other. So anything that feels uncomfortable, just rub your hands, allow that energy to clear. Anything you're ready to release, anything you're ready to let go of, just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And we're clearing energy. We're clearing anything around us. We can put our hands up in the air and that clears above your head. Okay, that clears any energy above your head. You can bring it down to the third eye, which is the third eye chakra. You can to your throat, to your heart, and then take a deep breath in. Clearing the space to room for more information. Exhale, shake it out. Shake it out, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Okay, good, deep breath in. And a nice deep breath out. Okay, and then just over the top of your head, any energy that you picked up from the day, just clear it out. Just release it. Release it from your mind. Release it from your head, your brain, anything you no longer need. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And then take a deep breath in. And anything not allowing your heart to be present, anything that's in your heart that's distracting you right now, that's holding you back from just being in the moment, right? It's our hearts usually are what prevent us from being, right? Take a deep breath in and then just shake it out. Give it to the earth. Give it to the earth. You don't need this anymore. Let the earth be the compost, right? The compost for the beautiful flowers to grow of who you are, who your soul is, and why you're here. Okay? So go ahead and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. So before we get started, I would like to know, do you feel more calm? Okay, so take that calm feeling, place 2 hands on your heart. And I'd like you to please think of 1 thing, 2 things, 3 things that you are exceptionally grateful for. 3 things that you have felt so grateful for that gratitude lights up your heart. It lights up your soul. It makes you feel like you're hugging a little baby, that you're hugging a little child. You feel so joyful. Exactly. That's what gratitude does. It makes us feel like children again. So just feel that in your heart. Feel that love. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. and allow it to shine through your whole being. Good. And then feel that love and light ground into the earth, like roots, into the groundwater, into the core, and allow that core stability to come back to your heart. Take a deep breath in. Sink into that support, and know that we'll be clear to go forwards now. We'll be focused. We'll be connected. Michelle is like, I've got to know what my new sign is going to be. She's like, I'm ready, Lotus Dawn. You get to the point. Enough of this meditation. I meditate all day long. Come on. I want some information. So Cecilia, Crystal knows what's happening. Summer's like, I want to know too. So without further ado, let's see. I think I can share screen, right? I think I have those privileges. Okay. So here we go. You know, I've tried doing these events a couple of different ways. One being that I just start on the event and start talking, and two, that I talk to you all first, and I feel you, and we all feel each other. And I honestly feel like when we take the time to really feel each other, that it doesn't matter what happens next, because we're in this together now. Now we're on a journey. This is a class that I used to always put on. I was putting on new moon classes and full moon classes. And Blake was there, April was there. And basically we would talk about what the full moon was all about. And then we would do energy clearing. And this is after we did the energy clearing. I'll just share a little bit of it. Feel that? Yeah, anyone else want to share? Go ahead, Blake.
Yeah, I felt the same thing just earlier and like again. And so I'm like super relaxed too. So
Yes.
Not just you. It's me too.
What about you, Maria? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I just was gonna say thank you, Lotus. I feel just super grounded and kind of ready to go. And feel that.
Yeah. So I just wanted to share a couple clips, right? Because when we do this energy work, we get super grounded, we get super connected, and the power of us coming together is super, super real. So I met a majority of you. I met Dorothy Andreas, I met April at an event last October where we got to share our gifts with the world. We got to be at a group of people, we got to dress up in suits, we got to speak into microphones, we got to present. And so I love sharing this video for you all to see what's possible when we have a message, right? So many of us are here trying to figure out what's our purpose? Why am I here, right? And then once you have that, what are you going to do with it? So this is a really great video clip just to sort of see what I do healing wise, see me in action, and also to inspire you for what's possible for you in terms of creating your vision, getting it out to the marketplace so people hear you, they know what you have to offer, and they're inspired to, like, what does it take to do that? And video, where you have a full visceral experience of the person, is usually one of the best ways to share that information. So without further ado, I'm just going to play this real quick. You can relax for a moment.
Pull together in circles, like this. Stretching arms out by your friend, feeling that connection.
I saw her do the single most incredible thing I've ever seen done.
Open up your palms.
She did the most amazing blessing
Put your hand on the back of your friend.
that was so appropriate for the world and so empowering and so appreciated. This woman empowers everything she touches.
She's found something inside of herself.
And I do believe if she was focused on you and wanted you to heal,
It will give you the opportunity to access places and spaces, locations and destinations that you've never been to before.
she's got power and knowledge and the ability to implement her knowledge. I want you to pay attention to her. It's something special.
The energy went through us all.
Lotus is the one you really want to connect with.
This makes me feel like so grounded, so calm and peaceful. Something inside of me, I feel change. I never felt that way before.
Oh my God, she actually resembles the beauty of the lotus itself.
You gave me a permission to connect with my soul.
How many of you have been touched by her presence at this event?
And I have a gift to share with you. So come, and I will be so excited to all that I've learned so that I can hold your hand and bring you with me.
That makes me so emotional every single time. Every time. And that's because there's some real love there, and really getting to step up on the stage and share that with people. This is a testimonial from the first class I did, where I told you all I had 3 couples show up who made it in somehow to an event that wasn't going to happen. April and Blake ended up having dreams that night about astrological characters, which I thought was pretty amazing. Corette, I love what she said. She's from Estonia, and she actually stayed up all night to be part of the class. She came at 4 a.m. and stayed up the whole day. She's like, wrote me, she's like, I'm just so inspired. I didn't know that it was possible that you could learn so much from someone's birth chart. You know, she was just blown away. And I also had my next course. It was all women, which was amazing. It was all women. And I had a woman who is a very successful author. She's a practitioner. She's a coach who had tried to study and learn sidereal astrology. But after taking 2 hours with me for my free event, she said she learned more from this free event that you're all attending tonight than she learned from 2 full paid courses all about astrology. So my hope is that tonight you're going to take away a lot of knowledge, a lot of information. I'm going to make it simple, and I'm going to make it clear so that it'll be really easy to grasp. Just going over some kind of laundry list stuff of like who will benefit today, because we are tactile learners. We tend to learn in different ways. So some of you are going to be learners who need to see information. Some of you are going to need to hear information. Some of you need to feel the information. So I want to get this out to whoever needs it, if you're more visual especially, that if you're someone who is passionate about your purpose, you will benefit today. How many of you are passionate about your purpose out there? Can I get an amen? I mean, look at you. You're all the most passionate about your purpose people that I have ever met. So I think you might be in the right place, just maybe. How many of you are seekers of spiritual truth? Can I see some hands out there? Yeah. So that's why I'm doing this. This is some profound spiritual truth, and I want to get this information to you. Are you willing not only to seek truth, but are you someone who's willing to do some kind of hard work? Are you willing to go the extra mile and actually clear the pain and the trauma and the stuff blocking you from the past so that you can really move forwards? Then this is the right place for you, because not only do I do astrology and teach it, I'm also an energy healer practitioner. And so when I work with clients, we utilize the chart to find where is that spot energetically where you've been struggling, you've been freaking fighting an uphill battle, and how do we release it? How do we get it out with love, with acceptance, without judgment, but with just compassion, for we've all been on this crazy journey of life, and each of us signed up for some really challenging life lessons. I mean, raise your hand. How many of you have had challenging life lessons? I mean, we wouldn't be here tonight if we hadn't, right? We wouldn't care about our purpose if we hadn't had these challenging life lessons. And so bless you all, right? Knowing my own challenges, bless you all for what you have been having to overcome. It's real. If I have had to go through tough times, I know that you have as well. And I love you all each individually for that, because I know what that journey is like. Holy freaking cow. Whew, takes all hands on deck pretty much all the time. So raise all of your hands if you are ready to unleash your full freaking potential, right? How many of you are just ready? You're just like, I am here to be the lion, to be the lioness, to roar my truth. Yeah, then you are in the right place. You're at the right time. All right. So some of my solutions, right? If we have solutions, if we have problems, but we have solutions, we'll get through it, right? Because the problem is what actually leads to happiness by us finding the solutions to get through them. So my method is here to affirm the truth of you, and we'll be able to use your sidereal soul path that I'm going to help show you to guide you, right? The stars for thousands of years have been the map from the sky, right? The map for our soul. So how important do you think it is to have an accurate map if the stars are a map for your soul? Yeah. So what I'm about to disclose to you tonight is that the Western astrology map is actually, it may not actually be accurate to the stars at all. Yeah. I know, I'm teasing you. I'm just teasing at it, but I want you to really start slowly questioning this because it's such a deep thing, right? We've been told all our lives, this is what the signs are. This is what it all means, okay? So I don't want to go too fast. I'm just going to go slowly with this, okay? If you are ready to clear these blocks from success, then if you're not ready, clear blockages that you have, this may not be the right place for you. Okay. I'm just gonna say that right now. Like if you're not someone who's like ready to face whatever shows up and ready to clear and let it go, then this may not be the right place. But I already know that all of you are. So I think we'll be okay. Yep. I see it. I saw your eyes like steal into this like strong warrior energy. Like I am ready. And it's such an honor to get to share this stuff with such amazing people. Thank you for being here. So for all of you showing up, whether you've had a session with me before or not, I want to gift you all a free 15-minute reading because as great as this session is going to be tonight, it's not long enough for each of you. I'd like to spend an hour at least with all of you. We'll start with 15 minutes, okay? Which usually turns into at least half an hour, by the way, just so you know. But my email, if you want to take it now, is blossomwithlotusnow@gmail.com. You send me a message there and I will send you a link to schedule with me and you can let me know in the beginning. Do you want to do some clearing work too, or you just want to know about your astrology? Okay, because I do both. So I'm happy to share that with you. This is my partner and I with our mentor, Joel Bauer, who is an absolute legend. We watched him at an event have 95% of the room sign up for what he was offering because he is like the king of marketing. Like he knows how to get your information matched to the people you're wanting to share it with. And he's been such a gift to Michael and I, my partner and I. And I found this quote from listening to him one night. I was listening and he's like, the one thing a person needs is purpose. And I just had this like stop moment because I thought about my life and I thought about the times where I didn't have a purpose. And how many of you have ever been there where you didn't actually have a purpose? And how happy were you? Yeah, not at all. And I just thought, you know what? I think this is the freaking secret. I think this is one of the secrets of life is that if we have a purpose, we have a clearly defined goal, as Earl Nightingale might say, then we will be able to make progress. We will be able to have success. But if we don't have a direction, it's like a ship without a compass. It's like a ship without any navigation. We won't go anywhere, right? So that is why astrology is so powerful. Because if we're lost at sea, it gives you a map. It gives you a direction. It gives you a goal or an outcome to follow. And so I worked with April, worked with her several times now. And one of the things she said that has stuck with me and kind of become like a mantra for me of what's possible for a reading of how someone might feel. She said, I had this reading with Lotus. I'm still buzzing. And I was like, yes, that is how I want everyone to feel every single time that we work together. Because how good is it when you're on that edge of knowledge and you just one little piece of information and it's like all your cells light up. They like light up. It is the most incredible thing. So thank you for sharing this, April. Oh my God. So we're about to watch a clip from Heidi. I love Heidi Ricardo. She is one of my first clients. She saw me, she saw what I was doing, and she jumped on it because she knew that there was something really powerful with what I had to offer. And she says to me in this testimonial, she finds out that her North Node is in a sign that most of you have never even heard of, which we're going to get into. And that by telling her this information, right, by telling her the information I'm about to reveal to all of you, she had this incredible enlightening experience. And she has suddenly started painting, speaking, empowering others in a way she'd never dreamed of before. All because we had this like amazing 2-hour reading one day. It was absolutely incredible. So I'm just going to skip ahead for a moment, and I want to share with you her own words about what it was like working with me. And it just, I got this together right before class tonight, and this is why I do what I do.
I feel like Lotus has awakened the essence of my soul to trust that I can express my true self, and I can
Start again. Thank you. Okay.
I feel like Lotus has awakened the essence of my soul to trust that I can express my true self, and I can radiate my light, my color, my vulnerability, my uniqueness, my playfulness, my joy, my light, everything that I want to share with the world, and to own it, to give it freely, and give myself the permission to receive my truth, receive my full expression in my life. And that sounds like a lot, but that feels like my soul has been longing for this, even to understand that it feels like it's awakened my truth. Something that I've always known, now I can speak it, I can live it. I actually know that it is in existence. What I've known inside is given a form, and Lotus, you've given me that. That is giving words to something that's an expression and a feeling, and I know I'll never be the same again after this experience. My life is starting right now.
Yep. That's what it felt like to hear that. So how many of you have ever felt like you needed a little bit of guidance sometimes, right? All I care about is being a mirror for y'all. The work I do. I know that you already know exactly what you need to do, who you are, and where you're going. I don't need to tell you anything, really. All I'm here to do is to be a mirror back to you for what you already know in your soul. And that's what I'm so amazed about this system that I'm sharing with you, because it has been a powerful tool. A powerful tool to guide people to the truth that lives within them. Not that I'm putting words in their mouth, not that I am telling them what to do. I'm simply giving them information that draws them back into who they are. And that's an amazing talent to be able to give that to people. And so beautiful when they have those sorts of experiences. So I've been having to take this out, go on shows, podcasts. I'm going to have to write some books because this information changes lives. It just does. So how many of you are getting really excited to hear about what this system is? I've never been such a tease before, but I'm building to this. So just please hang in there. I want you all to know that I have some pieces of paper that I got that tell that I certified in something. So yeah, I have a BA. I have many healer credentials as an access consciousness facilitator, as a hypnotherapist, as a theta healing expert, and also in marketing now. Amazing. But the power of what I've learned has actually been very organic. How many of you, all of the accreditations you've received, the knowledge and information that you've gained that's been the most powerful and potent has usually come from a person, a mentor, or a friend? For me, it came from my freaking mom, right? And that's the information I'm sharing with you tonight. And so I think as great as these recommendations of paper are, we're so much bigger than that. And we know so much more if we'd only give ourselves credit for the life experiences that we have and the people that guide us in profound, powerful, powerful ways. Hi, Carolyn, welcome. So where are we going now? Okay, we're gonna go into my story. So when I was a little girl, I was very innocent and very gentle, very sweet. I had a great mom and dad, but here's the thing. My mom and dad, I'm gonna just ask you to mute for a minute there, Dr. Ken. Okay. So how many of you had a challenging childhood? My dad was, okay, my mom had a lot of emotional challenges. Okay. So I did my best. I played by myself a lot. I did my own thing. I was homeschooled and I spent prodigious amounts of time playing outside in nature. My mom was a hippie and she believed in children guiding the parents and not the parents guiding the children so much. So I spent, when it was time for her homeschool lesson, I would run outside and be like, no, and I would play in nature. So despite being a little bit rebellious, at least I was playing in nature and gaining some valuable experience watching the ants crawl, watching the insects. I mean, I could just remember laying out in the grass and just watching nature, right? Just watching the way that the wind moved through the trees, the insects moved. And that was my school. That's what I spent my time doing. And I thank God that I had that because it's enabled me to have a connection to the earth that I don't see everywhere, and it's been a huge, huge support. So things changed though. I had nature that helped me get through it. But when I was about 7 years old, I had a bike accident. And this is not a normal bike accident. I was running around a shrubbery. I was actually I was like, I'm going to go home and ask my mom if I can have a popsicle because my mom was a hippie and she didn't allow any sugar. And so I had to go ask her before I had treats, right? I knew that. I was 7 years old. I'm going to go ask mom. So I'm running around this shrubbery bush and a bicyclist is coming at the same time and we totally collided. I don't remember any of it because I got straight up knocked out, unconscious. I hit the ground. I had a horrible concussion. I couldn't eat. I couldn't drink. I thought I was going to die. And it didn't get better until we had a chiropractor come and adjust me because something had gotten knocked out of whack. Well, as great as that adjustment was and I got better, things never really quite got back together in my neck. And so by the time I was 13, I was kind of in chronic pain, like very slight, but I was not doing well. I started exhibiting sort of antisocial behavior. I got really good. This is Blake. Blake was into punk rock. Blake became like my best friend and we hung out all the time. I started going to punk rock shows. I started drinking. I was just in this spiral of rebellion. I just wanted to I was so angry about my life at home. I just didn't want to be good anymore. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to get out my frustration. And that ended up causing me to go to a show when I was about 16 and someone stage dove on my head and caused another compression incident to the back of my head. So for the past 15, 20 years, I've dealt with chronic pain in the back of my head and my atlas vertebra, luckily, I found some amazing healing techniques over the years. That's why I became a healer. I was in chronic pain. I had to find ways to feel better. I had to find ways to adjust my posture, to clear my energy, and to ascend into feeling much, much better. And so I went on, right? I struggled through it. I ended up getting my BA in psychology. And I'm actually totally hungover in this picture. I don't even know how I made it to the graduation assembly, right? But I almost didn't go, but I was like, no, I gotta go. You know, and borrowed all this money. I gotta go. So I wind up after college in San Jose, living with a partner that I wasn't really jiving with anymore. We weren't really on a soul path. And I was so depressed that literally all of the curl had gone out of my hair. You can see, like, I have kind of this wavy, curly hair, but literally it was like straight. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, this is not okay. So I was sitting at the bus stop one day on the way home from some nanny job I was doing, feeling so at sea, so lost, off my purpose, floundering, depressed. And I had this light bulb moment where I was like, oh my God, your mom taught you astrology. Why don't you like do some research and try and figure out what your freaking purpose is and why you're here? And I was like, okay. So I got home, I started typing on the computer, and I discovered something called the North and South Node in astrology, which, raise your hand if you've ever heard of that. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, we got some people. It's not very common. Not everyone knows about it, but it's predictive of your karmic destiny, why you're here, what you're here to learn. And the North Node is what you're growing towards, and the South Node is what you're growing away from. And so I discovered that I was doing everything from my past that I was supposed to be growing away from, and I was not growing forwards. I wasn't doing the things that they said I needed to do to grow forwards, which were be more independent, be focused on myself, have hobbies and direction. I would become codependent. I wasn't following my own path, all of that stuff. And by sign and by house, you can learn more about your specific path and purpose, right? And so I had this epiphany. I was like, oh my God, I could change everything right now. So I immediately got into a yoga class. I remember lying in that yoga class, that first class, sobbing my freaking eyes out, just pool of water, just like I hadn't been in touch with myself for like 10 years. And I felt my soul for the first time in like 10 years. And I was like, holy cow, this is me. I'd been drinking, I'd been hurting myself, I hadn't been loving myself. And all of a sudden, I freaking came home into my heart. I bought a car, I moved out, I got a new job. Everything changed, everything. And I then went on from that experience to become a certified yoga instructor. And in 2020, during the time of the pandemic, when everything was so crazy, I was like, people need yoga. And I took yoga to the Lighthouse in Santa Cruz, where I grew up. You know, raise your hand if you're in Santa Cruz right now. Right? Yes, Summer. So I got to teach this amazing yoga class where we would gather in a circle. We became like a spiritual family. It was so freaking beautiful. And this is David. He has this great testimonial about how we taught, I taught this class. We all became this soul family. Some people lost weight. But my favorite student was Rhonda Rebel. Rhonda Rebel is like this classic character who would show up at my classes topless. And I would be like, okay, like, how do I handle this? And she'd just be there, breasts blazing, being like, I got these done. I got to show them off. She just had this attitude where she just wanted to be seen and she didn't care. And she'd be smoking her, her pipe or whatever. And I'd be like, okay, Rhonda, you got to take that away from the class, right? We have a non-smoking rule here. And I'd have to later, I appreciate you having no top. That's okay. We can accept you. We had this amazing connection. And she was actually the student who came with me the first day I taught a yoga class in the ocean. Yeah, in the ocean. We went in about ankle deep, and we stood in a circle and we did a yoga class there. And of course, she was topless because it was the beach. Why not? And then another woman who joined us was like, I'm going to get topless too. So here I am teaching a circle of women in the ocean, a yoga class. They're topless. And I'm just like, and one man I think had a fake sword. It was a bizarre day. But the power of being led by your soul to the right place at the right time, magical things happen. So we're going to get there. We're going to finally disclose the secrets that I've been keeping from you. So we're going to get you in touch with you. We're going to get you clear and release the blocks. We're going to help you know which way to freaking go. And so, what am I talking about? What is this difference in astrology? What the frick is going on here? Okay, so Dorothy, Summer, Margaret, and many more of you, this is the crux of it all, okay? Did you know that Western astrology is based on where the stars were 3,000 years ago? And if you were to take a telescope and look up at the sky tonight and ask what sign is the sun in, Western astrology would be off by 24 degrees. Did you know that? So this video I'm going to share with you kind of explains how Western astrologers who actually got the information of astrology from the Babylonians, because that's where astrology originated. Then it got taken to Greece through Alexander the Great when he came in and he took over Babylon. So, you know, it's a little bit like the game of telephone, right? Where it starts one way and then it goes to the next people and the message gets a little convoluted. My guess is that transition from the Babylonian astrology to the Greek, there might have been some lack of information. So what they were missing and why Western astrology is so off is something called precession. Has anyone heard of precession? Yeah. So precession is essentially that the constellations are moving slightly backward 1 degree every 72 years. 1 degree. That's nothing, right? But after 2,000, 3,000 years, where the signs are in the sky have moved. So Western astrology was totally accurate 3,000 years ago. When they looked up at the sky on March 21st, which is the beginning of spring in our system, our calendar system, they said that is Pisces. And guess what? It was Pisces. But because of precession, because of the slight movement of the earth and the constellations, 1 degree every 72 years, now, if we were to look up on March 21st and say, what sign, constellation-wise, is there? What sign do you think we would see? Would it be Aries or would it be Pisces? Anyone know? You can just pipe up. So it would actually still be Pisces on March 21st. So does anyone have an app called Star Walk 2? Blake does. Crystal does now. Do you know? So what Star Walk 2 is an app where you can see what sign the sun is, what sign the constellations are at any time of the day, any moment. Yeah. And so if you want to double check me and just make sure that I'm telling you the truth, which I encourage because I'm all about truth and you knowing what I'm saying is real, I highly recommend you download Star Walk 2 and you look up at it and then you see what sign every popular astrologer is saying the sun is. And then you look at your app and you see, does it agree or not? Okay. I highly recommend that. So I'm going to just play this quick video because sometimes video is more helpful than any talking I can do. So sit back, relax, enjoy this little discussion, and we'll see what we find out. Okay.
It is believed that around 500 BC, Babylonians and likely earlier other civilizations began making calendars by simplifying the constellations along the ecliptic into 12 equal parts of 30 degrees each, what we know of today as the zodiac wheel. However, the constellations vary in size and are not equal in the number of degrees they take up along the ecliptic. Larger constellations like Virgo take up over 45 degrees, while smaller ones like Cancer span less than 20. The simplified calendar and astrological system are the early roots of where we get our modern-day astrological charts of 12 equal signs, each given an even 30 days of the year for our sun signs. For instance, Aries is between March 21st and April 19th. However, in truth, Aries is much smaller than this, and the sun is in Aries for less than 30 days. So why did these ancient civilizations create such a simplified system if it took away from the actual sky? It's likely because they wanted to time seasonal events more consistently, such as the beginning of spring. This makes sense for the time because so much of life depended on the seasons, particularly for agriculture and travel. Where that leaves us today, unfortunately, is with an astrological system that no longer reflects the actual sky. So the question is, why do we still use this simplified system? Around 200 AD, an astrologer by the name of Ptolemy proposed the idea of fixing the signs around the seasons, so that every spring equinox, the sun is at 0 degrees Aries in the astrological chart. The purpose of this was to solve a problem for astrologers at the time known as precession, whereby the sun does not originate to the same exact position in the sky every year. So it might mean the start of spring when the sun enters Aries one year, may not years later. The change is very subtle, about 1 degree every 72 years. However, over a long enough period of time, this change can be drastic.
Okay. So, hi, Lisa. I didn't even know who was here. So this is kind of some big news for some of you, okay? So I want to just get clear on this. Everyone make sure we're all on the same page of what I'm sharing with you. So there's 3 or 4 main differences between what I share with people in a chart reading, which April and Blake and Carrie Ann have experienced, that you may not have ever experienced. So here's what they are. Western astrology is based, like I said, on where the stars were 3,000 years ago. It's not current any longer to what's actually in the sky, okay? So what I do is based on the actual sky, what constellation, and the constellations are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, etc., are the planets in at any given time, versus what does the Western system say? So the difference is always going to be 24 degrees. 24 degrees. That's really easy to remember. So that's one thing. That's what my mom taught me, what she learned in the 1960s from a woman named Barbara in San Francisco. It is called sidereal astrology, okay? Sidereal means of or relating to the stars, okay? That was great. That changed my life. It was super helpful. It shows me as a different sign than Western astrology did, and it helped me learn who I was in a different way. But in January of this last year, something even more major happened, okay? I discovered from my mentor and teacher that there were 2 other things happening with astrology that I didn't realize, okay? Everyone ready for this reveal? Yeah, you're kind of slowly waking up here. Okay, so number 1, number 1, do you think the constellations are the same size? Like Aries, Taurus, Gemini, they're in the sky. Yeah, they are not the same size. So Virgo is actually 45 days long. 45 days that the sun takes to move through it. Pisces is also 45 days long. That's not 30 days. So Western astrology is based on a 30-day system where everything is the same size. But it's not, again, it's not accurate to what is happening in the sky. Number 3 grand reveal, okay? 5 or 6 years ago, NASA released that there was a 13th sign. How many of you remember hearing about this? Anyone? Yep. Yeah, I heard about it too, but being the person of habit that I am, I said, okay, whatever, that's cool. I let it go. In January, it was repeated again by my teacher. And I was like, what's up with this 13th sign? So I bought a program to do people's charts, including the 13th sign, including the actual size of the constellations and including the actual placement of it in the sky, the sidereal system, all those three things together. And I started doing readings for people. 9 months later, 100% accuracy reading, crazy success stories from people who are like, I finally know who I am. You finally revealed the truth about who I am. Holy cow. And so that's, you know, being sure about something comes in waves, right? Like sometimes we're super sure of it. And then other times something happens where we kind of lose sight of what's going on. Okay. So what happened was this. About 3 months ago, I'm in this space where I'm doubting my astrology system. I'm like, I don't know if what I have to share is worthwhile. I don't know if this is important. Despite all of the people saying the contrary, I was in a period of doubt. How many of you have ever been there? Even if you're like totally on the right track. And so the symbol for the 13th sign, okay, because most of us aren't even familiar with it, we've never even heard about this sign, is called the snake tamer. Okay, it's all about taming the snake, taming the secret powers within us, right? It's a very powerful energy. So my partner go to an event, we come home, I'm doing, you know, putting stuff away. I'm like, I come outside, I'm like, oh, I wonder where he is. I suddenly hear this sound, like sprinklers. And I'm like, oh my God, why is the sprinklers on? I don't see any water. Oh my God, Michael's in the garden and there's a huge snake, there's a huge rattlesnake. And I'm like, holy cow, right? And he's like thinking about how we have dogs on the property. I walk around barefoot all the time because I'm such a nature lover. He's like, we got to kill this snake. Like, this can't be here. So we corral it. We sadly, you know, we have to kill it. I say a lot of prayers because I don't kill things easily, right? Prayers to God that its soul goes to, you know, ascends to its rightful place. And I'm just like, it was a really intense moment, really intense experience witnessing that. Okay. I'm preparing meanwhile for a class the next day to teach about the full moon. And I go, wait a minute, what sign is the moon in right now? Because I have a program and I can check. So I go in, I look on my program. It is 0 degrees of Ophiuchus at the freaking moment that we're killing this snake in our yard. What is the name of the 13th sign? The snake tamer. In the car ride home, I've been saying to Michael, I don't know if I'm on the right path. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I don't know if I should, I don't know. And he's like, he's affirming to me. He's like, you're wonderful. You help people get in touch with themselves. You're, you know, he's just being super supportive. We get home and this all happens. And I'm literally having goosebumps all over, being like, okay, universe, like you are being very clear right now that there's something to this system. There's something extremely accurate. I've never had anything like that happen. I mean, it was like the snake tamer and the snake issue never had anything aligned like that. So I share this with you so that you know what my journey has been like a little bit. And also, so if you're on the fence of like, is this a real thing? Should I care about the 13th sign? You might give it a little more consideration, okay? So here's why I choose to consider it. Not only because of that story, but because of the power of the divine feminine. And what do I mean by that? The power of the woman is that we're aligned to nature. Our bodies naturally align to the cycles of the moon. We have our menstrual cycles with the moon. And how many moons are there in a year? Are there 12? No, there are 13 moons in a year. How many bumps are there on a turtle's back? 13. Okay. How many of you have heard that the turtle symbolizes the earth, right? The earth mother. Okay. So there's something powerful about the number 13 and women. Okay. And then if we want to get biblical, how many people were at the Last Supper? Were there 12? Of course there were. Of course, 13 major joint. Of course, there's something about the number 13. It's in all kinds of things. Mary was there too. That's right. So the 13th sign, I believe, is the resurgence of the presence of Mary at the Last Supper, at the divine table of life. It is the resurgence of the divine feminine back to the table, which, if you know, I can see from all the beautiful divine feminines here tonight. And Blake, you also have your own divine feminine energy. We all have it, man and woman. Okay. It is return. Yeah, exactly. It is returning to the earth. It is the recognition of a divine power of our intuition, of our emotion, of our connection, and our guidance to source. And so, yes, every time I go online to share this information, it's very hard to get it out there. Why? Because there's been so much resistance to the power of the divine feminine. And of divine feminine power is very different from masculine power, very different. And yet it is so essential to all of life on earth. And so 13 students, oh my God, we did it. Yeah. Oh my God. I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. I mean, how many rooms did we go through to get here? How did that happen? God, I swear to God, you know, that is my guide. That is my focus. I pray to God every morning, every night. It is the focal point of life, is our connection to this source. Okay. And God guides us, right? You know, when you're on some sort of God guided path, stuff happens. Like the doors open and you're just like flowing, like you're flowing down a river, right? You're just like, and sometimes it's fast, it's a little scary, okay? But when you're in the flow state, it's amazing. So that is what I share. And actually, that is what I'm stepping into, is actually, we'll get to that, but teaching this art form, because I've had 9 months now to give sessions, okay? And just have miraculous results. And now I finally got to this place where I want to reach more people. And I want to help other people have what I've been able to have. I want teachers and healers and guides and coaches who facilitate people to have the map that I have been having for my clients. Do you know how amazing it is to have your client's chart? You just need their birthday, their time, their location. You have their chart. And if you know how to read it, if you know the language of the signs and the planets, do you know what you can get from that? Holy cow. I have sessions within 5 minutes, people are crying because I've just pinpointed their lifelong challenge just in 5 minutes. I don't have to know who they are. I don't have to know their story. Okay. And this is not a power I take lightly. Okay. Because I can know what people have said. I can know more about a person than they maybe know about themselves, just because of this information. You know you. I don't really like saying that, but that's what people tell me, okay? You know you better than me any day, okay? You're you. But this information is freaking powerful. So I want to share with you real quick a little video reel I made. I don't know about you, but every time I make some kind of a video,
To solve this problem, Ptolemy proposed
I feel such immense, like so proud of myself every time I just do one small editing thing. I don't know, it's a really powerful art form. Okay, so before I do that, we got to play a game. Sorry, not sorry. All right, so we have a chartered jet plane, and I would like to hear from you. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? And this could be location wise, or it could be in your life, a destination you would like to arrive at, a goal, an outcome, a vision, a beautiful dream. Okay, and just raise your hands and or go ahead and just speak, because I can't see all of you. So try and be mindful and not speak over each other, but I'd like to hear from whoever's ready. Just share with us where you would go and why.
Well, I'm still set on going to Hobbit Town in New Zealand.
I think about you every time, April.
I would like to go to Egypt and see the tombs.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, you definitely need to do that, Dorothy. I feel that. Oh my God, I get the chill. Okay, who's next?
I would like to go to my publisher with my manuscript.
Yes! Yes! Praise the Lord. May it be so. Who's next?
I would like to go to like Switzerland and go skiing, or go to Egypt and go check out the pyramids. It'd be fun.
We got to get a jet. I think we just need one. Okay, who's next? I feel you, Crystal. Come on. Where do you want to go?
I'm with Carrie. I'm with Carrie Santorini with people, friends, my family to experience. Yeah, to experience Greece.
Oh, the food, right?
Yeah.
And the water and the sexy Greek men with their shirts off.
Yeah.
Like, what is up with that? What is that?
Yep.
Blake, there's a lot of ladies here.
Yeah. So I'm with you there, Carrie. Carrie said the same thing.
All right, who's next? Michelle?
Well, I have a wild ass crazy dream. I'd like to be in front of, if BTS gets together, which I think they will, I would like to be in front of their audience with them, sparkling the world.
Yeah.
And dancing with them.
Yeah. Yes, please, God, please. That would be amazing. I would watch the whole thing. Oh my God. Okay, who's next? Oh my God, yes.
That is a crazy ass dream though.
I love it. It is possible. I see it. I'm like dancing with you right now. I'm like seeing you sparkling. Like, yeah. You can do it. You can do it. I think you would make their show better.
Who else can sparkle?
I know. Yeah. You have a unique talent, Michelle.
Hey, you should come onto my SDM with me.
You'll have to tell me more about that later. All right, who's next with these amazing dreams and destinations? I'm not looking at the chat, so I want to hear you say it, because you're going to get so much more power and energy from the group for your dream and your vision. So be brave. Let's hear it. Who's next? I feel you out there.
Hawaii.
Yeah, Carrie Ann, let's hear it.
Santorini, because I've been obsessed with going to the Greek islands since Mamma Mia, and I would love to have a best-selling book. I want to start writing a series of books.
I feel it. I feel that. You are a great writer. You get me with your emails. I'm like, oh, said such a good line there. It was so poetic. May it be so. Yes. Yes. If you feel a dream in your heart, if you feel excited, that is your soul talking to you. And I am here to be the freaking cheerleader to say the stars tell it so, right? Your chart will probably confirm if you want something, you're excited about something, you probably should do it. Just saying. All right, who's next?
I want to go on a trip to some Caribbean island because I've never been, with a bunch of family that I love and just hang out for the week. I think that would be amazing.
I can see you there. It's weird. It's like it really matches your energy. I'm also hearing to tell you to get Larimar, which is a crystal, and Larimar is connected to that area of the world, and it's also connected to Lemuria, and it's a very feminine goddess-like energy that you exude. So you probably have some sort of deep connection there.
Okay, I gotta look it up. Thank you.
Yes. Who's next? I know we got at least 13 people here. Anyone out there in the wilds of the Zoom call want to share their destination they'd like to get to, either in their vision or a location?
I'd like to go to the jungles of Peru or Guatemala and do some medicine with some grandmothers.
All right, that looks really powerful, Summer. I can feel that coming through. I can feel that. May that be so. May you have that opportunity. Yeah. Rob, I know you have something you want to share. What you got?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. What do you want to do there?
Go to the beach.
All right.
Clear waters.
Have a nice drink on the ocean. See the children playing. You have a son, right?
Yeah, a little boy and a little girl.
Oh, you have 2 kids. I bet they would love being in Hawaii. Oh my gosh, that is like the family place. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I was flying to Maui once and I was watching the map, right? I was watching getting closer. And about halfway to Maui, I felt like the ocean had arms and a heart and started hugging me on the plane. And I was like, what's up with Hawaii? Like, what is the love going on there? I mean, it is like a real thing. Whew. So I think you're on track there, Rob, with that idea. Good call. Anyone else want to share their amazing destination, where they would go, why? All right, Margaret.
I would like to go to Tibet.
Oh, a lot of wisdom there.
Yeah, because it's some place that I have seen some videos on it, and then they have really grown a lot, and it is so different from before. And it's something. Yeah.
Did you know that when we're drawn to a location, it can possibly be because we have past lifetimes that we lived there? And so if you're called somewhere, you might be wanting to go there to remember some of your wisdom that you may have had from the past. And so sometimes we're called places, we don't know why, but our soul knows, right? And that's one of the powers of this astrology, is our soul knows when something is right, and our soul knows when something is not right. And it's a feeling, right? It's our intuition. And so very powerful to listen to that guidance. And sometimes when we do a reading for people and we can affirm to them that their soul is actually shows it in this and this and this in their chart, they have amazing breakthroughs. And that's one of the powers of it. So I'm going to be a little bit of a tease here. And I'm going to say that our journeys, our visions, our outcomes, getting to where we want to go, how many of you would agree that it is determined by our map? And if our flight map is accurate or inaccurate, will we get, if our flight map is inaccurate, will we still get to the destination that we have plotted to arrive at? No, we won't. So Western astrology is 24 degrees off by sign. And if stars are the map from the sky, do you think you will get to your destination if you follow the wrong map? Potentially not. You might not get the right information. And so I want all of you to have the right map. I want you to have access to the right map and to be able to compare, do I follow the Western thing more, or do I follow what's actually in the sky more? And so I want you to get to your destination. I want you to get there. I want you to get to Tibet. and Hawaii and the Caribbean. And I want you to get to the jungles and drink medicine. And I want you to get to Santorini in Greece. And I want you to fly and have so much fun and always arrive at exactly where you want to go. And so sometimes that means having the right map, right? Making sure your flight is going to the right destination. And so that is why I use this system and why it's so incredibly accurate. And this is what, come back here. Come back here. Sometimes these slides are very slippery. This is Joe Freedom. I met Joe Freedom through my YouTube channel where I talk about all of this amazing astrology stuff. And she had a huge shift when I did her chart because she went from being an Aries to being a Pisces. Now for her, it was awesome. She said, I love the fact that I'm no longer an angry, misunderstood Aries. Now I'm embracing all the wonderful Piscean qualities that have been brought to light. She said she felt completely reborn after having this new information. Okay, that's why I do what I do, because there's so much misinformation out there that I want to help give you what could be the most accurate information I found astrologically. Okay, so we already heard from Heidi. Now I want to share with you just a quick reel of some of my students, and Carrie Ann, you're in there too, so this is going to be fun. Just expressing and sharing what their experiences with having their chart read was like. So I almost started crying after. It's like every time I do a reel and I hear from these people and their hearts and what they've gone through, it's just so amazing. So thank you for watching this, and I hope it helps you understand more and get you even more excited about what we're going to talk about tonight.
Here I wake up the day after my birthday and find this out, and I'm like, no wonder some things haven't fit. Thinking I'm supposed to be kind of a certain way and I'm not.
Right.
So, you know, so it's I feel like it's a gift and I'm very grateful. And here I find you, and your mom has the same birthday. So so you're going to have incredible insight, I think, into who I am, and I'm really grateful for that, because you may have more insight about me than I do. At how much this fits.
Really know your stuff. I was impressed, and I've never had anybody explain astrology on the level that you did, you know. So it made total sense, the logical sense, you know, and I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. When do we start? Let's go. You're picking up on everything that I've always heard all my life. It's amusing. It's almost, it's like, have you been looking at a movie of my life that you're just rattling off all this stuff? So everything you say is I've been hearing all my life. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I said, girl, you don't need to talk anymore. What's your phone number? Give me your deets right now. I'm all over you.
I'm so interested to learn about this. This is like major. Oh my God. This is like crazy. I mean, you have no idea. So what the hell? This is mind blowing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All this time I thought I was, oh my God. Everything's different. Like my moon is in Pisces. Are you kidding me right now? I mean, I'm pretty happy so far. This is pretty good, but thank you.
Yes. I just almost got excited. Carrie Ann, would you like to share with the people?
Here I wake up.
Just a little bit about your experience of, you know, having everything change. You shared a little bit before, but now you've shared it in the video.
Yes.
What's it like for you?
Well, at first, it was like I was honestly in shock for like 2 or 3 days after my reading. I didn't because it really affected everything, and I was so into astrology that I felt like I had to do reconnaissance on every guy that I went on a date with. So here I thought I was compatible with Aquarius and Gemini and Sagittarius, but actually you know, all of that was affected as well. So it's just, I mean, I'm grateful for the information because, you know, I just think it's so important.
Do you think it's helped you make different choices moving forward? Do you think it's been clarifying in your direction, or just like what to do, how to do it, that sort of thing?
Absolutely. I mean, I have so many notes, but yeah, I mean, especially my North Node and that house. And I think also I've really gone a little bit easier on myself, you know, because I was misidentifying kind of some of my, sorry, I'm like, it's really late where I am, so my brain is already shutting down. Just like my competencies and stuff. And I think it would be really powerful for people if with like to kind of like have like in like a one sheeter, like, do you know what I mean? Like to kind of have, I think you sent me my chart and I have it saved, but
Yeah.
it's just such golden high value information that I'd love to like turn it into a like a poster or something.
Yeah, definitely. This is such new information that I'm running into some interesting challenges with production, right? Because Western astrology is really built out, right? And you
Oh,
can get a
right.
chart written out, you can get all this stuff. But this is like top level secret information. Like I had to
Mhm.
buy my own system to generate charts. You can't get these charts online for free, right? Like they're worth their weight in gold, right? And so there's so much room for advancement and growth right now. Like this is like a secret that's going to come out into the mainstream really soon. And in
Mhm.
fact, one of the founders of this whole system, who I follow, who's an amazing teacher, he's doing a documentary. So I have this intuitive sense that what I'm sharing with you tonight is literally about to hit the masses in the next year or two. And so
Wow.
really powerful time to get on this wave. And that's kind of what I'm feeling, is like, I want to help people now get the information so you can just be on that wave and be like, yep, right? I already learned all this stuff. So thank you, Carrie Ann. Thank you for sharing. I know it's sleepy time where you are, so thank you for reaching out. And I'm going a little bit over tonight. If anyone like has to go, that's fine. But if you want to stick with me, we're going to actually get to your charts now. So you might want to stick around. Maybe. You just let me know. So who all would like to finally learn how to read their chart tonight? Yeah. And who all has a piece of paper? You have a pen, you have a notebook you can write on. That would be really helpful. And we're going to just go through my 3-step process here a little bit. The first one is that we are going to connect to your chart. What is a chart? How does astrology work, right? So this is a workshop for you to learn how to read your own chart. And so we're just going to we're going to do very brief, get through this fast, okay, because it's late. Then I'm going to share with you briefly a system of clearing that I include with the work that I offer. And then I'm going to just give you a brief outline of how you can start to speak like an astrologer. How do you take the information and begin to create a visual, palpable, kinesthetic experience for a client about what their chart tells them, right? Because that's where the power lives. So here we go. We're getting into it. Here's a chart, right? How many of you that looks like a foreign language? That looks confusing. Like, what does it all mean? There's just so much going on there. Okay. So how many of you are familiar with a clock? Okay. How many of you are familiar with a compass? Yeah. So a chart is a lot like a compass or a clock. Okay. And how many of you are aware that a clock has gears, right? So a chart kind of has gears too. And you just need to line them up. Have you ever seen a child's toy where you have to click one thing here and then click another thing here and then click that third thing all lined up in a row? That's kind of what this chart is like. You're lining up 3 or 4 different layers to get the whole picture. Okay, first layer, the outside ring of the chart. Okay, what is that? That's all of the signs: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, all the signs. Okay, then inside are the houses 1 through 12, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have the planets that live in the houses. So there's 3 things. Okay, that's like your basic mechanism of how to read a chart. The signs that are on the outside, the houses that are like the filling. You could also look at this as like a cookie with filling, right? The houses are the filling. The outside is the cookie, okay? And then inside, maybe there's some chocolate chips or sprinkles or nuts or raisins, and that would be the planets, right? All the different things that are in the filling. I've never used this example before, but it's making me want a cookie. Okay, so would everyone please draw a circle on your piece of paper? Let's demystify this complicated thing, because I've been doing this since I was 10 years old, okay? So it's really not that complicated. It just looks complicated, okay? All right, got your circle, awesome. There are 4 main points to learning astrology. There are the signs, there are the planets, there are the aspects, which, what are the aspects? The aspects are relationships. So how many of you have relationships, right? You have your mom, your dad, your friends, your family. That is what an aspect is. It's just the relationship between one planet to another planet, okay? And then you have the houses. The houses are where the planets live, right? How many of you live in a house? Yeah, okay. Would you say there's lots of different types of houses? Yeah. So imagine that every area of your life, from your work to your relationship to your career to your friends and family, is a different house that you travel through in life. Does that make sense? So in an astrology chart, there are 12 houses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, representing each area of your life, from career to relationship to home and family. But let's not get too complicated right away. Let's make this simple. Okay, so here we have a clock, and here we have a circle with 2 lines crossing here. So on a clock, the top part would be 12 noon. This part would be 3 p.m., 6 p.m., and 9 a.m. So in an astrology chart, those different times of day are also the types of energy that are occurring in that part of the chart. So right here, this is the sign on the eastern horizon at the moment of your birth. Okay, 9 a.m. This is your identity, what you look like, your physical appearance, how people perceive you. It's the icing on the cake. 9 a.m. 6 p.m. down here is your cave. This is your emotional place. This is 6 p.m. This is when the sun goes down, right? This is where you're emotional. This is where you are connected to something secret within you, right? It's your ancestry. It's your roots. It's where you come from. Then we get to 3 p.m. This is your relationship to other people. This is all your other relationships. And what happens at 3 p.m.? A lot of people come home from school. Maybe they come home from work. They spend time with their family. They spend time with their friends, all of that. Then we have 12 noon. This is where you shine the brightest. This is where you have a gift to give the world. And when you give it, you're just shining, right? You're lit up. It's high noon, right? The sun is the absolute brightest. And so we can just learn these 4 main points in a chart to begin to understand how a chart works, okay? So we've got high noon, that's where you shine the brightest. We've got 3 p.m., that's all your relationships. We've got 6 p.m., that's your deep emotional self. We've got 9 a.m., that's who you are, that's yourself, okay? There's our clock showing us that when we line all of those things up, we get the time, right? We get our unique picture of who we are. So how do we determine how a chart starts? How do we determine what sign is on the eastern horizon, 9 a.m. at the moment of your birth? Well, anyone want to answer that question? I know there's some students who are a little more advanced here. Does anyone want to answer that question? No? Okay. So at the moment of your birth, if we're in an auditorium and we look up at the sky, okay, and there are stars, constellations, the constellation on the eastern horizon at the moment of your birth, is it Taurus, is it Virgo, is it Capricorn, determines what sign you enter the world through, what sign is right here on the eastern horizon. So there's the cross. This is the rising sign right here. This is your identity. Eastern horizon at the moment of your birth. This is who you are, what you look like. So there's the sun. There's the eastern horizon. There's this line. That becomes your house of identity and who you are. That is how we enter a chart, is that door right there. So where am I here? Everyone has their circle. Okay. So from here, welcome, Jim. We have the houses. So let's see. Got our circle. Each house represents a different area of life. We're not going to go through them all because that's overwhelming. There's too much going on. But imagine the houses are like closets in your house. They represent different parts of your life, from your money-making ability, to your relationship to your families, to your career, and what's your best purpose for you? What do you love to do? How do you like to have fun? What do you love to talk about? What is your communication style? Each house in the chart represents that area of life for you. Okay, so we've got our circle. I would like you to draw a line through your circle now, and that represents the eastern horizon on the left and the western horizon on the right. Okay, raise your hand when you're done. All right, so go ahead and write in on that line, ascendant or first. That's the first house and the ascendant. Awesome. And raise your hand when you got that. Okay. Now go ahead and write on the opposite side, descendant or seventh. And then please write in next to the first house, or the first, write in self. 1, right? 1, self. This is your identity. 1, self. Okay. And then underneath descendant and 7th, write relationship or other. Good.
I'm sorry, did you say right above the line on the first and then below the line on the 7th, or both below the line?
It doesn't matter. It can be above or below it. Just like add it is probably ideal.
Okay.
Good clarification question. You're doing great. So there she is. So I thought I would start with Summer's chart to talk about the difference between the first house and the 7th house. Okay. So the first house is the sign on the eastern horizon at the moment of Summer's birth. So at the moment of her birth, the sign of Scorpio was at 6 degrees. Now, Summer, is that a little different than what you're used to? Unmute.
I'm glad I was muted because I cursed. I said, holy, I thought I was a Gemini. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And you also have the 13th sign in your first house. And the 13th sign is your North Node, your karmic destiny point. Wow. So, and it's in your house of identity. So when you have that going on, you're going to be here to learn a lot about your identity, and it would involve a lot of sacred mysticism and possibly becoming a shaman and studying the lost sacred arts of the mysteries, because Ophiuchus is all about the ancient mysteries, right? Taming the snake of the Kundalini, of the consciousness, purifying. And there may be a lot of deep challenges because you may have had many past lifetimes of being hunted or persecuted that you've had to push through and heal to get out on the stage, to get out to express who you are. But you're literally here to develop who you are. That's why you're here. And to develop that sacred power that lives within you. So how does that land for you?
Wow. No wonder why I want to go to the jungle and study with the ancestors, the grandmothers. Please guide me, because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And I know I got to do something.
Yeah. So with the North Node being what you're wanting to do, it's not going to be comfortable. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be like your dream that you're reaching for. And your south, let's look at your 7th house. Let's go back here, put that there. You have your sun and your south node in the 7th house. So a real big challenge, because your soul self really likes to be comfortable. Taurus is about being comfortable. Taurus is about being grounded. South node is your past and where you came from. So what am I doing right now? I'm looking at, we just drew this, right? We drew the circle. We drew the line across the circle. This is the horizon line. This is the east. This is the west. This is 9 a.m. and this is 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is all about relationships. Whatever is here is going to be what she attracts into her life as partnership or relationship. So with the south node here, it can show that relationships aren't really your life lesson this time. You have a very strong ability to have relationships. You're very good at it, but you're actually here to make sure you always keep your own self developing above all else. And only when you maintain that connection to your soul and your alignment to your calling will you have happiness in your relationship. How does that land for you?
Absolutely true.
It's an intense one, Summer. It's a very strong lesson. And requires all your soul power, because what it means is that if you have the North Node in the 1st house over here, which is about self and identity and individuality and independence and your own hobbies and personal self, it means in past lifetimes, you gave yourself away to relationship and lost yourself. And you came into this lifetime not knowing who you were, not having a strong identity. And so with the North Node here, it means that you're here to very deeply develop your identity and get very clear on who you are as a soul. Does that resonate with your journey so far?
Crazy much so, absolutely. Yeah.
So good work. I know this is an emotional, we went immediately to the North and South Node, and my experience with working with clients is that as soon as we go to North and South Node, we'll have tears, we'll have emotional catharsis. It pinpoints that spot where we all have that feeling of like, oh, this is big for me. It's big for me. So thank you for being brave. You did say you're going to go on the hot seat today, so you knew, you felt it coming. And with Ophiuchus there, you'd be very psychic, right? Very tuned in. Please message me to do a more comprehensive reading. I'm happy to. We've got to keep going because I've got a lot of you to help identify some of this stuff with. But so awesome, Summer. Thank you so much. Holy cow. Okay, so whew, awesome. All right. Thank you, Summer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay, so everyone's got their circle, they've got their line through the circle. Now I'd like you to draw a vertical line. And literally, if you were just to learn the 4 points that we're learning tonight, you will have so much greater ease reading a chart now from now on. Okay, so I would like you to write the fourth underneath the bottom of the circle, that line there. You can write this fancy Latin word, which means bottom of the sky, or you cannot. It just refers to a point there that refers to your karmic history, your generation, your ancestry, and your family. It relates to the hidden parts of yourself. So whatever sign is located there will tell you a lot about your family life, your ancestry, your past lives, where you've come from. And it's the roots for your career. So how many of you would agree that our childhood and any trauma we experience can drastically affect our ability to have a career and to function out in the world? And so the fourth house of the home is the roots of our career. Whatever sign and planets are there can tell us a lot about where we came from. I've done a lot of energy clearing work with people to clear past life, early life trauma from the womb even. And stuff here can relate to womb trauma, baby trauma. It's a very powerful type of work. And so I would also like you to draw 10th here on the top. If you want, you can write midheaven. It means top of the sky, right? That's where the sun is at high noon. So that is where we bring our gifts to the world, where we shine the brightest. And that brings us, so you can also write career, right? Or life path. And then on the bottom, you could write family or ancestry. And we already are starting to have a map that's more clearly defined to help us navigate this life. Because it's so confusing, right? We look at the chart, and if I hadn't learned this when I was 10, I would be as confused as most of us are about how to read it, but it bypassed my critical factor, right? I just saw it and was like, oh, I can draw this circle and there's all these signs, and okay, you know, it's like simple, which it is. Okay, is Lisa Perry here by chance? We're doing some roll call. If you are, please unmute. All right, she'll make it to next one. Okay. So now we have the ascendant. We have the descendant. And we have the midheaven and the Imam Coeli. So what does this mean? I'd like you to write in big letters, just because it's like, what does this mean? Next to the first house, write self. Okay. On the bottom, write family. On the top, write relationship or other. And then on this top here, write career. Or your gift to the world. Now, this is today's chart. So, no, it's not. Okay, we're just going to skip that. Carrie Ann, are you here? Would you like to unmute?
Unmuted.
Okay. So
Yay!
Carrie Ann has a really spectacular chart. She has a lot of energy down in the 4th house and the 10th house. 4th house is the home and 10th house is career. Okay. So Carrie Ann has the sun in the 4th house of the home. She has Mercury. She has Pluto, which is about transformation and depth, all in the 4th house. So, and it's in Virgo, which is the sign of the healer, It's the sign of someone who's very meticulous and organized, and potentially can get too overactivated with their nervous system because it's ruled by the planet Mercury, which is all about higher mind and thought. So Virgo people can tend to be very sensitive to stimuli and can be easily overwhelmed by too much stimuli or by their minds going too fast. So Virgo people really benefit from yoga, diet, and routine. Like routine is essential for Virgo to stay sane because their nervous system is so refined and so tuned in that they can get easily pushed off their path if they don't stay centered and like keep the schedule going. And so with all that energy there, Carrie Ann, does that resonate with you and how you handle life or stress or anything like that?
Yes, that's really interesting that you say that, because sometimes I don't know why I'm feeling ungrounded or kind of disembodied, but I think that's a great reminder.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing you have is Pisces up in the house of career, opposite your sun. So what does that mean? Well, emotion, the moon is emotion, and career is how we give our gift to the world. So if she has emotion there, then she has a feeling connection to how she gives to the world. She feels her way through it. She's an intuitive. She's someone who's body centric. But it's opposite her soul self, which is in a sign, an earth sign of Virgo, which is very practical and pragmatic, more mental. So there could be a little bit of an internal challenge between her emotional self, how she expresses out into the world, and her deeply rooted soul self that's situated in the house of Virgo, which is all about form, structure, analysis, rationality, versus the pure free energy of the moon in the sign of Pisces, which is a water sign, very intuitive and flowing. And so there's a little bit of a push-pull here between the need of the moon to be emotional and intuitive, with the sun's urge to root down, be grounded, connected to her roots, and in a routine or a structure. How does that flow with you and what your experience is like?
Right on the money.
Tell us about it.
Could you repeat the last part of it?
I'll do my best.
Oh, I mean, I heard the part about emotions feeding into my career and being an intuitive, and the opposition with the sun. What does that mean exactly in terms of my challenge for the opposite? Like, how do I remediate?
Yeah. Exactly. Have you ever been to a yoga class?
Yes.
Okay. Has everyone remember when have you ever heard a teacher say, root to rise?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you have an opposition, especially between two major planets like the sun and the moon, there's opposing energy where if you do one thing, it's not enough. You have to do two things simultaneously. So you have a little bit of that kind of, it's going to strengthen you. You'll become stronger because you're having to learn how to do this. But the sun, the soul urge wants to root down. It wants to be grounded and practical and rational, while the moon urge wants to be lunar. It wants to be emotional and intuitive and get lost at sea and just flow with the emotion. So you have to root down into that sun energy and then allow that rooting to have space to have a little bit of freedom to flow intuitively, but you can't lose the base or you'll get lost in the ocean. So it's very important.
In practical terms, would that mean that I can dream big in terms of my career, but I really need to have a practical, tangible expression of that?
Yeah, I would say you need a base. You need some kind of monetary security, physical structure in your life
Mm-hmm.
so that you can hold, you know how like they say men are really good at being the earth and holding the creative flowing of women in a good relationship. Well, we all have divine feminine and masculine. So in a way, that sun energy in Virgo has a certain masculine quality of groundedness, earthiness, and structure that if you don't put energy into building it, your emotional self you'll get lost in the water. So it's about the foundation. It's
Got
about the
it.
cup. It's about the cup. It's like having a ceramic cup to hold your intuitive self. And this is a probably really good applicable lesson for all us women, right? Is learning to build the foundation of our structure in life, our form, for our emotion to flow within, right? So stability, structure, routine, you add that in to your life and it will allow that beautiful expression of your emotion and intuition to get to shine out into the world without you getting lost in the ocean and not having a foundation.
Got it.
Was that helpful?
Yes.
Awesome.
Very. Thank you.
I can feel everyone's energy out there, and it's like really helping to get really clear on the chart. So thank you all for holding space for each other. Yes. So here we are. We've got the 4th house of family. We've got the 10th house of career. We've got the 1st house of self and the 7th house of relationship. Carrie Ann, we'll have to do more later. I've got to make sure I get everyone covered.
Of course.
Was that helpful?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yay. Awesome. Okay. So, Joe Freedom, are you here tonight? If you are, please unmute. No? Okay. Next time. We'll get you all next time. Okay. So now you have all of the segments of the circle. Now we're going to have a cool event here. So here's the tree. This is the tree of life, right? This is the tree of our identity or beingness. How many have heard the roots create the fruits? Yeah. So where do they live in our chart? How do we find our roots? Where is that? It's in our 4th house of the home. So if we have any difficulty expressing out into the world our career and blossoming and fruiting and giving our gift, we have to look into the 4th house. Can you imagine how powerful that is when you're working with a client or a coach, or you're helping facilitate someone, and you know that you can look into their 4th house and see what their roots are like that could be impacting how they're expressing out into the world. It is immeasurably powerful. For instance, if someone has the planet Saturn down here, which is restriction and discipline and aloofness and lack of emotionality, and they have Leo, which is the sign of full self-expression in the career house, they might have had a lot of restriction as a child. They might have had too strong of discipline. So they can't actualize their mission because they're traumatized and their creative spark has been blocked. So in order to facilitate them, that's where the healing portion of the work I do comes in. And if you're a healer, then you have your techniques that you utilize too to assist people to go to that next level. So Margaret, are you available? Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, let's do this. So everyone out there, I can't see everyone, but would you raise your hand if you are getting something out of seeing everyone's charts? Is it helpful to kind of see this in real life, kind of see how we're all affected by our chart in a different way? Yeah, it's really powerful stuff. So I'm really happy I've gotten to share this with you. All right, Margaret, let's do this. Is this your first chart reading?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Okay, so we are going to focus on your ninth house, which is right here close to what I said was the career, right? The high sun, high noon area of your chart. And you have a ton of planets. You have the sun, you have Venus, you have Jupiter. It's all in a very practical sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is very disciplined. It's very hardworking, strong work ethic, but you may struggle with your emotion. How do I express my feeling? Right? But you have your moon in the first house of identity. So have you ever noticed that your emotion is plainly seen on your face and that you cannot hide it?
Yes.
That is, I have that as well, Margaret. And it's when you have the moon, which is emotion, in the first house of identity, it causes people to not have any block between what you're feeling and what people can see. So you're all about form and structure over here, but your north node, which is all about the path of the soul and what you're here to learn, is in the sign of Pisces, which is emotion. It's all about intuition and spirituality. And so you might have somewhat of an inner conflict between being very practical, very reliable, very grounded, and a hard worker. But your soul has a very deep urge for meditation, a spiritual path, to walk in nature, to connect to something more spiritual. And so I would really encourage you, if you don't have do you have a meditation practice?
Not really. I meditate once in a while, but not a practice.
Do
Not
you
something
have,
that I do daily.
do you go on walks in nature?
No. I don't go on walks.
Yes. Yes, because you have so much energy in here that's all about being practical and working hard and being a contribution and serving others. But your north node is in the sign of spirituality and meditation and turning within. So when you have the north node in Pisces, the south node is in Virgo, and the south node is all about your past lives. And so with the past life in Virgo, it means that you were a nurse, you were a doctor, you were you served the people, okay? And so in this lifetime, you are born a little bit energy depleted because you've worked so hard. There's a little bit of tiredness from all the work. I have this too, so I know about this, okay? I know what it's like. And so with the North Node in Pisces, the universe is asking you to fill your cup. Okay, it's asking you to give yourself energy, to take time out for meditation and vacation and time with water. Yeah, I know. I know. Are you feeling it?
Actually, before I used to go to a pool for my to a therapeutic pool, but because they closed down, I never go to water anymore.
No. Well, I'm here to remind you to get back in the water, to start swimming again, because
I used to swim.
Because you have so much Earth. There's 1, 2, 3 planets in Earth here. Your moon is in Earth in the first house. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 planets in Earth down here. And your north node, which is where your soul wants to travel to, is in the sign of water. That water really helps you connect to your soul. I mean, I would say that most of us, water helps us connect to our soul. But for you, even having a glass of water near you while you work, making sure you drink the water, and imagine you're blessing the water and drinking the water like you're filling up your cup, Margaret. Every day, just imagine I'm filling up my cup. I'm filling up my cup. I may have felt
a lot of water. I drink mostly water. I don't drink other, like other flavor. I don't even drink tea that much. I drink water every day.
Good, good. So one thing you can do as a practice that might help you get more in tune and aligned is to take your water in your hands when you're going to drink it. And just bless it and just say, thank you, water. Thank you so much for filling my cup. My energy is full. I am enough, right? Just, I fill up my cup. I allow myself to receive. That is a big lesson, is learning how to receive energy. So you can practice with the water. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy. I'm so thankful that I get to fill up with this water. Thank you, God, for this water. Thank you. Thank you. And every day you do that, notice how you feel afterwards. You feel more full because the soul needs to be refilled too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, of course. My pleasure, Margaret. You are a beautiful soul. Beautiful. Yes. All right. We must carry on. Please message me, Margaret, for a reading with me one-on-one. I'm happy to do that. All right. Where are we at? Okay, Michelle, let's do this. Are you ready?
Sure.
Made you wait the whole night, not on purpose.
Oh, that's
okay. You've got a powerful chart, my friend.
Is it?
So
it
everyone
looks one-sided to me.
Okay. So this is a good chart to teach you this little lesson, everyone. So the chart, oh, let's go back. Oh, go back. A little foreshadowing of what's to come. So the chart here is divided. This is the side of the self. This is the side of other. So if Michelle has a ton of planets on the side of other, it means that she's here to have a lot of relationships. She's here to learn about other people. Now, this may not be easy. This may not be easy at all because her North Node is in the house of relationship. So what is the North Node? If it were a muscle and we were going to the gym, would the North Node be a strong muscle or would it be a weak muscle? Does anyone know? It would be the weakest muscle we have. It's a little bit of a catch-22 because the North Node is our weakest muscle. It's also where we get the most benefit when we do the things it asks us to do. For Margaret, it was to pursue more water and more peace and more time to herself where she's filling up her cup. That's what her North Node asks. For Michelle, her North Node is in the house of health. It's in the house of diet and the body and health and healing and being a doctor or a nurse or being someone who is a healer. So it says she's here to learn about being a healer. She's here to learn about healing and the body and how that works. But the South Node is the area where guess what kind of muscle it is? Is it a very strong muscle that we come in with or a very weak muscle? It's a very strong. So we have a tendency to pursue that South Node energy vigorously because it's so familiar. We're so good at it, right? It's like the little kid who knows how to build the sandcastle. So he just always is building that sandcastle because he's so good at it and it's so much fun and he knows exactly what to do. But the thing is, we can only do the same thing enough times before our soul decides it wants to learn something new. And so the North Node is where we're learning something new, where we have bigger ideas. We want to grow. So for Michelle, having so much in the house of other, it could mean relationships can be challenging because she is more used to being an individual. She's more used to doing her own thing. But here we have the South Node in the 12th house. This is what it says when you have South Node in the 12th house. It means that you were probably a spiritual seeker, a monk, a nun, someone who has gone deep into the spiritual mysteries of life. But here's the thing. You had total freedom to dive into the soul, but you had complete structure around you. Every bell told you what to do. It told you how to eat, when to eat, when to sleep, when to get up, what to do. And so this lifetime, they say that you have a challenge with structure and routine and following a schedule because you're not used to it. Okay, you always had the bell to tell you when to do what. It's like you have to download a whole new operating system for yourself this lifetime, all about schedules and when and how and what, and all of the questions of the W questions, right? How does that resonate, Michelle?
It's interesting because I do have the structure, but I really don't like the structure. So I can do it, but I choose when I do it. And it's definitely, I've had the structure. I did that in half my, 40, 30 years corporate. And now I'm onto the spiritual path. So I combine the two. And right now, I must admit, I have very weird hours. I sleep when most people are up. I'm up when most people sleep. And I eat at the weirdest times right now, especially when I don't have anybody really living with me right at this very moment. So the schedule is really all over the place.
Right.
And I don't need to sleep. So it's interesting. And it's like, my question is like, there's nothing on the lower half, the lower side, you know, the 40
The
below,
house of home.
Below the 9 and the 6 o'clock. So what is that like?
This is identity. This is finances.
Right.
This is communication and home. So everything, yeah, exactly. Everything under this horizon line is your inner world. So, and everything to the left of this vertical line is identity, who you are. And so everything on the other side is the other and the outer world. And so you're here more primarily to learn more about other people. So
it's also the other part, which is I'm here more to serve other people. So it's
yeah.
not to learn. So the way I look at this is not really, I'm not learning about people. I'm here to serve people.
Exactly. Yes.
And so it's not, the learning side is not ringing true for me. It is
to serve.
Here to serve. And that's why when I said to you about BTS and being on stage, because they have thousands upon thousands of people who are there with the energy of, you know, loving themselves, helping others, getting, you know, having the diversity, doing what you are here to do, finding your purpose. And so that's kind of where my dream is.
Yeah.
So this lines up to what I know is there for me.
The keyword of Virgo, which you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus asteroid planets in Virgo. The keyword, are you ready for this?
What's that?
To serve.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. And the other part, which is interesting, what was it I was thinking just now? I'm supposed to be a Libra.
Right. Right.
There's Libra in here.
Yeah. So you would have Jupiter in Libra, and Jupiter is what I call the Santa Claus of the astrology pantheon. It's the sign of fortune. It's the sign of total blessings. It's just vast. It's the biggest planet in the sky. I just think of Santa Claus with all those blessings in the sled, going out through the world, just having this beautiful attitude. And in Libra, it's all about partnership, and it's all about balance, and it's all about justice. And so you get a lot of blessings when you partner up with people, when you work together on projects, when you focus on beauty, you focus on justice, balance, fairness. Those are all Libra traits, right? And Jupiter is a really big planet. So you still have a lot of that Libra energy.
Okay, so Libra is in Jupiter in this chart.
Yes.
That lines up too for me because because I do have my art studio and everything else too, right?
Yes, yes. And you have Pisces rising. So Pisces is the intuitive artist. It's the spiritual, intuitive, sensitive artist. And
That's
so
exactly what I do is intuitive art.
yeah, yeah. So you have lined up your intuition, the Pisces, with your practical, service-oriented Virgo nature. And that's seen by Pisces on the ascendant, the 9 o'clock, opposite the 3 o'clock in Virgo, self and others. So your identity is more sensitive and intuitive and empathic. That's the self. But your way of serving others in relationships are much more Virgo, practical, service-oriented, health-oriented, healing-oriented, practical. So that all lines up. You also have your moon in Leo. And Leo is the performer. Leo loves to shine. Leo loves to express themselves. So no surprise to me that you actually want to get up on a stage and perform. Like I can totally see that, right? So embrace it. Embrace your love of shining, right? We all have a gift to give this world, and some of us love to shine. And when we do, we're assisting others because they can feel our joy.
Well,
right?
the thing is, it's not even so much me shining, it's me helping others to shine. That makes me really happy, right?
Right, right. And it's really close to Virgo. So it's the end of Leo.
Okay.
Right? And then you have so much in Virgo that the Leo acts as a way that you lead yourself to serving others, right? You're like, I shine bright and we're going to help people, right? Shine bright and serve. Definitely. All those things line up.
Well, this has been incredible tonight. I always enjoyed astrology, but I never really understood. Like I kind of got the idea of ascendants and stuff, but I never really understood what a chart, how it actually came together, or what the significance of it is. And I am so appreciative of you, Lotus. This is just an incredible night for me.
Yay!
Because you're right. If you have this information at your, and you know it, the biggest part of everything is to know yourself first. Because when you know yourself, then you can become bigger than yourself. Because then you know what it is you want to work on. You discover more about yourself, and then you can, get help with the parts you need help with, and it will show up for you. Because the more you know yourself, there's the more you can get yourself feeling positive.
Exactly.
And this is so incredible, Lotus. I really take my hat off to you, even though I don't.
Thank you, Michelle. It's an honor to share my 20 years of learning that I have with this, and to help you find some clarity and like get it, because it's so simple, right?
Well,
I
it's
learned it as a
confirmation.
child.
So, like I've but yeah, it's really interesting, because the other charts didn't look like this one. As you said, they were off a bit.
Yeah, and it kind of lines things up. Yeah.
So now
Yeah,
it's this one is a lot clearer.
Yes, that would be the number one thing I'd say about all the readings. Much more clear. Like you dialed in the focus.
Yes, it's much
all
clearer.
right. Thank you so much, Michelle. I got to keep moving because I want to get you out of here, but thank you so much, y'all. Let's see here. Let's see. We're going to move here. Yep. Michael and I have a really good, so I do couples readings. I'm not going to go into that right now, but I do have a lot of knowledge about couples and how their charts relate to each other, and ways. There's something called a book called The Marriage Made in Heaven. I read it as a young woman, and it taught me one of the secret magic matches between two people that can determine having a marriage or a relationship that lasts the long haul. How many of you would like to know what one of those aspects is? Right. So when the sun in your chart is aspecting your partner's moon, sun to moon, either opposite or conjunct, is one of the aspects of glue that holds a relationship together. And so I learned this when I was a young woman, and I have always looked for a partner that I had that connection with. And of course, my partner Michael has it, and our sun and moon are opposite each other, which is a very powerful and sometimes challenging aspect, because when you have an opposition, it's a yoga, means you have to do two things at once. You have to connect to both signs and see both sides of the picture. And so awesome, powerful work as a couple, learning how to love and appreciate every side of your partner. As many of you know, it's very challenging work, but very, very rewarding. And I just want to share with you real quick this testimonial from one of my first clients, from Terrence Yao, who's also, a lot of you may know him. We did some really powerful, we did a chart reading for him, and he had a very powerful response to it. And I just wanted to share such a heart opening. This is a very vulnerable moment for Terrence, so please send love for him sharing his heart here. I just want to show you the power of this system to help people get clear on their purpose and why they're here and who they are. So there you go.
Just for spending this much time with me. I've gone through a number of different kind of readings, and you know, the breakdown that you did, it's eye-opening. I think finally I get to understand why I feel how I feel. You know, it has been very conflicting within me. Thank you for giving me the answer that you know, I didn't know I have, to the questions that I didn't know I have, and yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah, thank you. Just really appreciate your advice or input. Yeah, and the readings. Thanks a lot.
Oh man.
Just for
That session was the turning point where I really realized the power of this system to help someone connect so deeply to themselves again when they've been lost or disconnected. And it made me cry, you know, to witness what he was feeling and going through, to be able to access who he was again and to know who he was and what he wanted again. It was so beautiful. So I have been creating a program that I am launching this Saturday at 9 a.m. And not only am I going to be teaching how to read sidereal astrology charts, I'm also going to be sharing a very profound healing modality with it. Michael has agreed to do 2 bonus classes with me because he's been trained very officially by the creators of this program that I will be sharing with you, that has been used to heal PTSD from refugees from mass genocide. It has allowed women who were infertile to actually have babies. And it has cleared emotional trauma for hundreds and thousands of people. And so having access to this healing technique is a little bit like this. Has anyone ever been to a self-checkout before at a store? How many of you have scanned an item, right? You get your item up there and something goes wrong and you get an error and you have to call over the manager? So our subconscious mind is a little bit like that error on that machine in the self-checkout. Our subconscious craves safety and stability and comfort. And when something is changed or we're trying to change something, a lot of times it will hold on. That's why people who are trying to lose weight will often struggle with it and not be able to. That's why people who have anxiety or are trying to stop smoking, they're having trouble because their subconscious actually is telling their body to keep doing what they're doing to stay safe, to stay comfortable. And so would you like to have the access code to how to talk to your unconscious and change any limiting belief very quickly and easily, and basically get the manager override code to your subconscious mind? Yeah. So I'm going to be including in this course I am teaching not only how to read a chart, right? Not only how to use the system I'm sharing with you for others, for children, for loved ones, but I'm going to be teaching you how to clear the subconscious mind. So if you have any blockages come up, if you have any issues with your movement forwards, then I will be able to train you on how to clear that. So the next step is that in the course, I'm going to teach you not only all of the signs, right, which are part of the gear of the clock of astrology, but I'm going to teach you all of the planetary bodies and what they mean. Like the moon is about feeling, Mercury is about thinking, etc. And I'm going to send you as a bonus those graphs that I just sent you, right? Because they are really helpful to start learning. If you learn the signs and the planets, then you can start reading a chart. It's very easy. So I'll be sending that to you. And I want to share this final testimonial with you. So this is Bija. How many of you have children in your lives? Maybe your own, people you know. Yeah. So I met Bija when she was a little baby. She lived next door to my mom. And my mom and I were friends with her family. And they asked us, knowing that we did astrology, to do her chart. So we did a chart reading for her. And 10 years later, the parent said, everything you told us was so accurate. It was so right on that it allowed us to raise her and to know what to do. And so this is what her mom wrote for me. She said that she met my mom and I in the mountains, in the Santa Cruz Mountains at a sweat lodge. They found out we did astrology. They invited us over. And their insight and intuition have been spot on, and it's been miraculous to witness firsthand as our daughter blossoms. Sidereal astrology truly follows the rhythms of the moon, shift, and that calendar rather than the Gregorian calendar, right? And that slight shift seems to hold much gravity and truth. And so through this system, we've been able to help children, parents with their children to gain greater understanding of what their children are all about. We've been able to do so much with this system so far. So I just want to check in with everyone. Hi, Lynn. Nice to see you. Anyone have any questions at this point? Because I've been talking for a long time and I haven't been able to see all of you. Any questions out there in Cyberland? We got a kitty hug going on. Okay, awesome. Okay, so the presentation is done. However, if you would like to stay and give me, let's see, do I have permission to share with all of you the system and process that has enabled my partner and myself to essentially transform our finances where money is no longer a concern? Do I have permission to share that with you? Would you like to learn about this system? So this is what I'm going to be sharing with you all. This gets me emotional. So here's my mom and I, and we went on a trip to Santa Barbara together. And she is such a miraculous woman who taught me so much. And I can't believe that I'm here with you all, sharing you what she taught me as a child. We had so many challenges, you know, mom and daughter growing up. And yet now as an adult, embracing what she taught me, I feel like I'm finally healing all of the upset I had with her, right? She didn't do it good enough or whatever. And I feel like I'm really finally getting to appreciate my mom as the gift that she is and all the wisdom that she's taught me. And if she hadn't been there, none of this would be possible tonight. I wouldn't have known or learned any of this potentially. And so I just want to say, well, that came out of nowhere. I just want to say thank you to her. She had a really challenging life. She went through a really lot. And to get to finally bring her knowledge and wisdom out to the world for people to hear and appreciate is just such a ridiculous gift. All she ever wanted was to share information with people. She's an amazing woman. Oh, so, and this is my partner. He's one of my whys. He's why I keep going, keep fighting for getting out there and sharing my truth, because love is such a powerful gift that allows us to stand up for what we truly stand for and get our message out to the world. So really, really grateful for him. And so with all the work and effort over the last 9 months, a year, I've created this membership and this class that's going to begin Saturday at 9 a.m. If you'd like to join it, there's a couple spaces left. There's going to be 10 classes with 2 bonus classes. And what you will get is a money back guarantee. So if you do not have huge success with this system, like if I'm not able to train you in how to learn astrology, I will pay you back your money, right? Because I know that I can, because I've been doing this so long that I literally am committed to making sure every student who comes to this training is going to know how to read the chart and potentially then create a business. And I've been able to create a very successful business reading astrology charts, doing energy healing that's very soul affirming. It's very powerful. And this work is about to hit the mainstream. So it's an incredibly lucrative time to become trained in this information, because other people, when they find out that Western astrology is not accurate to the stars and that in fact it could potentially be a detrimental map to follow, they're going to need people to turn to guide them in a system that actually works. So it's a very powerful system. My partner, Michael, again, as I said, is agreed to do 2 bonus trainings with us. And he is one of the most amazing teachers I've ever met. He just did a training where he taught 3 amazing healing energy clearing techniques to us all. And it was profoundly powerful. So I am so blessed that he agreed to teach 2 extra classes for this class. Oh my God, he's awesome. I could stare at that picture all night, but I'll move forward. So here's what will happen in the course. We'll have bonus sessions. So not only will I be training you in sidereal astrology and how to do it, you will get 4 healing sessions with me personally. So not only will you be learning the system, you'll be getting energy clearing. You will also get one-to-one personal coaching if you're struggling with the course, if you have questions, you want to know more, I will be there. I will hold everyone's hand through this whole process. I'm not going to let anyone fall behind. I want to make sure everyone's clear. It's not complicated. You know what to do. And then I want to include some special bonuses too. I want to teach you your numerology chart. I want to teach you about gemstones and how they relate to the different astrological signs. I want to teach you my own healing clearing method that I've learned and used with hundreds of clients as amazing success ratio. And what else do we got here? And there will be more bonuses. I just haven't thought all of them up yet. They're still coming. And this could be charged on a magical island for 260,000 or 150,000 because this is so valuable. But I'm not going to charge 75,000 or 25,000 or 10,000. And what would you choose if money was no concern? So after being here tonight, after witnessing story after story of people's life transformation, getting clear on who they are, having the power to read someone's chart and know who they are within seconds. If you're a healer, if you're a teacher, if you're a coach, how many of you would like to have that power to be able to discern who someone is that you're going to work with, to know yourself? This is such a powerful gift. And how many other people could you then affect, right? How many other people could you then read their chart and give them an answer to who they are? How many people could you end up blessing as you move forwards in this life? A lot, okay? Let's see. So this is my 100% guaranteed proven process. And it includes, what is 13 sign astrology? That's what we're here about tonight, right? Like I've given you a brief overview. What is it? And then how to decode your own chart, right? Relationships, signs, planets, houses. How does that all work together? The signs and the planets. I mean, let me tell you this right now. as a child learning this, if you just set aside some time to learn the signs, so you know what all the symbols are, and you learn what all the planets are, so you know what all the symbols are, that is like half of the battle, okay? That starts you on the process. But where it really starts getting interesting is when you start putting language in with the energy. You start learning what the energies of a planetary body are. You start learning what the energy of a sign is, what the elements are like. It becomes this beautiful art form, which, you know, over time, you start getting better and better and better at. We'll go over your north node, your south node, right? There's so much here that we're going to go into. Energy clearing, body healing. How do you work with a client? How do you look at a chart, right? And then how do you work with a client to clear them? How does that work? How do you do that? I want to make sure that whoever goes through this course could work with the client. And in fact, if you do 10 sessions with other people and you send me the 11th video of your session with that person, I'm going to create basically a certification. Or maybe I'll call it like Blossom with Lotus Astrology Certification, something so that you can say, yes, I'm certified to do astrology. Because anyone who created anything, including Pilates or including, you know, hot yoga, how did they create that? They created their own certification. So we have that power too. Okay. And I've been doing such amazing work with this stuff. I would love to see it happening more and more out in the world. So what do we got here? There's going to be 3 missional. If you decide to take this invitation, you want to join us, you want to jump in, you have time in your schedule, you're ready to learn this, this has sparked something in your soul. There's part of you that's like, I want to do this. I don't know why, but there's a part of me that feels drawn to this like a magnet. Then there's going to be 3 mission critical moves. There's going to be the classes, right? There's going to be our group, and then I'm going to have live events. So in addition to the classes, I'm also going to probably start sponsoring new moon and full moon events where we come together with our intention and we super powerfully activate our vision. Kind of like when we talked about the airplane and where you want to go. Imagine being in a group setting every year or every month, focused on your dreams and your visions. How powerful is that? Can you imagine the type of manifestation you're going to be able to create, having that much support of other people like-minded plugged into their actual chart? It's amazing. So it's not going to be 10,000. It's not going to be 1,000. I have decided that this is my beta group. This is my first course that I'm officially teaching, and I want to give something really affordable. Even though the value you're getting, like I can't even believe the value of this. And I'm so amazed at getting to see my own value for the first time, getting to see the value of this work that I'm putting out there. And I'm excited for you to have access to it. So tonight I'm going to charge $597. For 24 hours, it's going to be at $597. But if you're like, you're on the fence, tomorrow, 24 hours from now, it's going to go to $997. So if you want to do it, if this is like speaking to you, then 24 hours, it will stay at $597, because I know that life is full of interesting monetary challenges. I will accept 2 pays. So if that's something that works for you, let me know. I'm just excited to have you part of the family and getting this course. So if you're interested in joining, you want to be a part of this class that's starting this Saturday at freaking 9 a.m. So you're ready to get up early for it. You got to be ready for that. Then you will please email me at blossomwithlotusnow@gmail.com. And please sign up. Let me know you want to sign up so I can put you on the books and you can get the price of $597, because I am going to have to raise the price in 24 hours because the class will be starting and I'll just have to make sure you're there. So that said, that is my close. That is what I'm here to offer. I would so love if you want to join my course. If not, definitely sign up for the free session because I would love to share that with you. Does anyone have any questions? Is anyone interested? Is anyone excited? Does anyone want to join us this Saturday morning, because we have a couple spaces left. April's going to be there. Blake's going to be there. Rob's going to be there. I think some other people might be able to be there. But if you're ready and excited, you know what to do. I'm not going to put you on the spot in front of everyone, but if you're excited, you know what to do. I would love to hear now about anyone's experiences from tonight. Any takeaways, any magical moments? Let's hear it. Anyone want to share anything? Anything speaking from your heart?
I think Blake was starting to understand some things a little bit more tonight, and we were messaging back and forth. So I'm sure he's got a lot of questions. I don't know if he wanted to ask or not, but I love every single class that I hop on with you, because I feel like I'm getting another 2%. I'm getting another 10% tonight. Okay, I feel like I'm maybe at 15%, and it's so exciting. And I think you should be charging so much more than you are. I really do, because I know how life-changing this is.
Thank you. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this first impulse of creation just wants to be gotten out without any parameters of money being whatever, small or big or whatever. It just wants to be that high five of activation in whatever form it's going to take. And I really appreciate your enjoyment and your how you show up and you love this material. It's really beautiful. Thank you so much to both of you. Yeah. Anyone else have any takeaways, anything they want to share? I want to get you off this call, but I would love to hear from you.
I've got to say, just, I didn't even know how to spell astrology starting out. And I was just like, okay, cool. I was like a completely blank slate. But now that I've just observed and I've taken, your expertise, and I didn't have to, particularly learn anything or understand anything, and it was just life-changing for me. But now that I see the power of this, like, I'm like super happy to be doing the class, because I've learned that, I'm okay with being a participant and having people tell me this, but at the same time, it's like I'm learning more about myself now, because I'm going to learn more about this, and it's more like self-discovery. And so it's like peeling back all these different things and then seeing how I can go forward and what today holds. And so when I mean, I learned to sail, like on a sailboat, and I had never sailed before, right? So like literally I went around in circles, right? Because like, that's what happens when you do it, right? But I decided I sailed the entire Pacific coast of the United States, all the way down to Mexico. So like there was a learning curve there, but it was interesting. And I kind of feel the same way, on this. It's like it started out slow and I was like, okay, I don't definitely see the benefits of this. Now I'm like learning, okay, you have to set the sail in this specific degree so that you go forward instead of, to the left or to the right or backwards or all that kind of stuff. So I just really love that, and I'm getting more out of it every single time.
That's so awesome. And I think that's why I really got inspired to share this work, is that as great as giving a session is and being able to rattle off and tell everyone, I mean, how many people who were on the call and I read your chart did that resonate with you? Like, in kind of a weird sort of eerie, like, how did that even, like, is that possible? Yeah, as fun as this is, I would so much rather you be able to do that for yourself than for me to have to tell everyone. I would rather you have that information. I would rather you're empowered to like read your chart, read your cousin's chart, read your mom's chart, and be like, this is so fun. We can talk to each other with this new language and have all this information to guide each other in this really beautiful sort of way. So thanks for touching on that. It's been really powerful to have this tool my whole life, and how great to get to freaking share it with so many beautiful people. I'm just blown away. Anyone else have anything in their, oh, Margaret, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I actually am not that familiar with the astrology. And then by your reading my chart, I am learning something new. And then I feel that, yes, just like other people are saying, you are like, I mean, I myself am like an onion. We have so many different layers within ourselves. And sometimes it needs somebody else to tell us to peel it off so we can understand a lot better of who we actually are. So I am grateful that tonight you share with me how some of the readings came out. And I know that I am just a newbie and I need to learn so much more about it because everything is like a foreign language to me still. And my sign actually is Aquarius. I don't know what how it relates to the chart right now, but I am sure that when I have a chance to talk to you, you can help me discover what it is. But
We'll get there.
I wanted to also let you know on Saturday, when you told me about your class started on Saturday. Saturday, I have a full day. I have a very big webinar from my company that I have to attend. I already signed up. So I won't be able to join you, but I will really wanted to find out if somebody signed up, they cannot come to the class. Are you guys recording everything?
Yeah.
And then
we're gonna,
like people can ask questions and also, do. And how often are you dropping out the class? Is it a 1-year program?
It's about 10 sessions to start, 10, 12 classes, and it will all be recorded. And so if you're unable to attend the class, you'll get the recording. You can always reach out if you have questions or you're trying to get clear on any of the information. I'll be available to answer questions. And the other students, we're going to create a community. So ideally, you'll be having other people that you can chat with on Zoom. You can talk about what you're learning and practice with each other, because that's where the learning really happens, is when we look at each other's charts and we're like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, and I see that. And then it just kind of starts a conversation. But this is a lifelong pursuit. It's like any language, right? Or any song or musician. You can learn the very basic system, or you can take a lifetime and learn it forever. So wherever you want to fit on the spectrum is really
But how often are you giving out the modules? Because like a lot of other people, they are doing it once a month, or some people are doing it, like a little bit more frequent. So I don't know the style that you are picking. So
I'm picking once a week at this point. Yeah,
once
it's
a
like,
week.
Yeah, I
Oh.
want to get things going for people to start learning this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for your
letting
question.
me know. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Margaret. Glad you're here. Summer, you had a question or a comment, or you wanted to share from your heart.
Yeah, I had those similar questions. How many classes, how often? I'm actually in a Tony Robbins program, and the fact that I took 3 hours out of my time to do this is like, I'm like knocking myself off course in that way, but it's okay. Because I'm knocking myself on course, because if I don't know who I am, how am I going to produce who I'm producing in my Tony Robbins program? So I kind of was feeling, and I'm also, as I'm listening, it's like, I don't even want to leave, like I know I need to get back to my Tony stuff, but the fact that I'm like here and drawn and I don't want to leave, that tells my intuition is screaming, yes, you want to be a part of this and you want to, learn this and be engaged. And like what Margaret said, it's like this exact moment is just not the right time, because I'm also going to be going to Greece, maybe even Santorini. I know who is that, Lisa, who wants to go to Santorini? Come with me and my husband. So I'm like going to Greece for 2 weeks. I'm going to Hawaii for 3 weeks in the next couple of 2 months. Going to be, the whole Thanksgiving. So I'm just bummed that it's like, I'm not bummed. I'm stoked that it's happening now for you. And I look forward to the fact that it's going to be every week. That means we'll be doing the class again in like 3 months or something like that. And I will
potentially
sign up for the new year.
Awesome. Yeah,
So-
this is just the beginning. This is my beta group. I will warn you that the price is going to go up the next class. Like this $597 is the last time I will ever offer it at this price, simply because I know that at the end of it, I'm going to know how valuable it is, and we're going to have such freaking amazing results for people. And if I don't charge more, then I'm not valuing what the work is. And I really want the work to be valued for what it is, and have people who want to join who really respect and care for what this power is. It's a power. It is a power like I never even knew was possible, to be able to sit down with someone and reveal their deepest soul secrets to them within 5 minutes. It's crazy. I mean, I barely shared with you a portion of the video content that I have. I have hours and hours of people being like, oh my God, and wow, and it's over and over again. I mean, you saw tonight with people I've never met. I didn't even look at any of your charts beforehand. Secret, full disclosure. Because it's just full disclosure.
Yeah, full
It's
disclosure.
so much more power. Go ahead.
I look forward to paying you more money. No worries there. I'm not at all concerned about that. I'll be happy to like start with the $997, or if it moves to 15 and I lose, good, good for you.
Oh, I love you, Summer. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah. And then how many hours is it? So you say it's once a week for 1 hour, 2 hours?
It's gonna be 2 to 3, and we're just gonna figure it out together as a class and see what everyone needs. If I go over and people have to leave, they can watch the recording. I just want to really make sure the information is all there so that you can look back on it. You can go deeper. I've been doing this a long time, and I think a lot of it is osmosis. If any of you followed a mentor or a teacher, we have a friend, a cute little child. It's part of it is learning, is just being with your teacher. It's being with your mentor and absorbing, like osmosis, like our mentor says, if I could unzip my brain and just give you a portion of it, and that's what this energetic thing is with learning, is that we're not just learning the words and the thoughts, we're learning vibrationally from each other. Right. And that's why we're all here, because we're in this shared energy space of something that feels really amazing and really powerful. Right. And that's us getting in touch with our soul. How powerful is the soul? Right. From everything I've learned with Chinese medicine and acupuncture, the soul is the master. The soul is the guide. Everything comes from that. And so when we get in touch with the soul energy, we are so much more powerful than any other time. So whether you're ready to take the course, whether it speaks to you now and you're ready to go, whatever the case may be, please sign up for a free 15-minute session. Thank you, Crystal, for sharing my link. She's just going ahead and jumping ahead and helping me out there. I appreciate all the love and support. Why don't we just clear on out this, finish up the course. I'd like to just clear some energy as a gift to you all. Please message me if you want to sign up. Please message me if you want to join us. Otherwise, let's take those beautiful heart hands, right? For connection to the heart. And let's remember that the heart is the most powerful place on earth. And no matter what challenges may come up or rise, when we stay connected to this truth, nothing can stop us. Nothing, no matter how challenging it may be. So take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And just connect to whatever energy you want to let go of. Rub your hands together, or whatever energy you want to call in, right? Do you want to let go of something, or do you want to bring something in? Where is your energy talking now? Yeah, take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Feel that heat. Feel your energetic heat, the power you have within you to create worlds, to create manifestations beyond belief. You are unstoppable. You're so powerful. And that is what knowing our soul is. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Clear anything you no longer need. Put it into your fires of transformation. Release any blocks to what you truly wish, you truly desire. Why are you here? What are you here for? Let anything holding you back from that purpose be dissolved, be transmuted, be transformed, be released and cleared on the core, on the genetic, on the soul level. Let it be pulled and resolved on the historical level. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and replaced on all beautiful, powerful levels of your soul and your being with the Creator's truth and definition of pure, unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, the peace, the calm, the brilliance, and the clarity. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and shake it out. Give it to the earth. Let it go. Hara, hara, deep breath in, deep breath out. Sometimes sounds carry vibration, and sometimes sounds can make really powerful healing activations. Yeah, you feel that kind of go through your spine. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Cleanse off your arms. We have made not only ourselves feel lighter and brighter and more clear and more transformed with light, we have created a ripple so powerful and so profound that we don't even know the extent of the love and goodness that we have shared with the earth tonight. And that is more than anything what I'm here to share. And that is more than anything what this course is about. We will learn astrology. We will clear energy. But more importantly, we're going to meet every week and we're going to get in touch with this energy right here, which is the source energy, which is what love is, which family is, what makes us, it's our why. This is our why. Yeah, whatever capacity is in each of our lives. So that is what I'm here for. That is the gift that I bring you as my soul gift to help us all align to the truth of our soul and clear anything that no longer resonates with that so that we can be the pure channel that we are. I love you all so much. You being here with me is the gift to me, get to give you this gift, okay? We work together. I can only give you my gift if you're here, right? And you can only receive it if I'm here. And together, it's such a beautiful reciprocation. There's no me and you. We are collaborating, co-creating together. And it's just it's so beyond beautiful, beyond. And I'm grateful for all of you. I'm just like hugging you with my heart right now. I just feel you all in my heart. We're all in the same spirit of love. We're all here on the similar purpose to align with who we are, to connect to God, right? And I just want you all to remember this as you go forwards, that you are so radiantly protected, that you are so here for a reason. And please trust yourself, please love yourself, and please know that you're on the right track, wherever that is, whatever you're doing. Yeah. Yeah, oh my God, so much love coming through my body for you all. Thank you so much. Yeah, anyone have a share or a heartfelt thing they just need to express or get out, because sometimes this energy can be very powerful. Love you too, Summer. You are such a beauty. I met Summer many years ago and it was like instant love. Just loved each other. It was so nice. It's been 6 years or so. It's been a long time since we've seen each other. It's so amazing to have you here. And we got
you were doing yoga. I would have gone to your yoga sessions. I just don't like follow anything on Facebook, and people don't call people anymore. I'm like, can you just call me and let me know what's going on?
I know the feeling. Oh my God. Yeah. So one day I will add yoga to the membership as well. That's definitely coming very soon. Very soon. I know that would be good. We have this beautiful family. This is so great. Any other shares before we end for tonight? Any questions? I'm here. What do you need? How can I support you? Thank you, Margaret. Thank you all so much. I can't even tell you the amount of energetic clearing and self-love work I've done over the last 6 months to get to this point. I think I've maybe died a couple deaths and been reborn like 20 times to get here tonight. So if you're going through any sort of a journey that's tough or challenging, like stick with it. You can get there. And energy clearing, Michelle and I will tell you, is freaking the best thing ever. I know it's hard to go, right? Yeah, we're just in the bob. This feeling here is called the bob. I call it the bob. It's when you're in your heart and you're in your heart with a bunch of other people. This would happen with all my yoga classes. So after my yoga classes, nobody would leave and we'd just be there on the grass for hours. So I'd usually bring food because no one would leave and I'd be hungry. So like, we gotta like eat some food, right? So I bless you all. If there's no more questions, you are free to go. Bye.
I just wanted to say that astrology is amazing, and your, what is it, sidereal is even more amazing, because how I was introduced to astrology was when I was just out of just in first year university, and my mother knew this astrologer, and she was intuitive, redhead, Scottish. And my mother said she started a car battery with her hands, and holding her hands over the battery. And she did a chart reading for me I will never forget.
I bet.
And she told, and this was with the Georgian.
Gregarian.
Or
Western.
Western astrology. And she was still accurate.
Oh yeah.
But this, it's nowhere as accurate as this. And even then she told me things nobody knew that floored me. And that is why I always, I knew that it wasn't the Libra and the this, it was get your time of birth, where you were born, where the planets lined up. And that my father, some of you know that my father died when I was 12.
Oh.
Left me and my mom and my 6 younger siblings. And she did the chart. My mom was very forward thinking, and she got her to do all our charts. Every one of us, they saw my father dying at 12 in their charts. So this is not something to be sneezed at. The science of astrology, there is total credibility in it. And if I'm sure you have your data to support your claims tonight, because you're that type of person, Lotus. And if there's anything that can help any kind of business, it's knowing yourself and knowing how to help others and helping them know themselves.
Yeah.
And this thing you're giving for the class, it is amazing. And I think you're right. Once they have the message out that there is this lag or this thing that isn't caught up with the planets and the Western astrology, your certification program is going to be in high demand.
Oh my God. Yeah,
So,
it's life-changing.
Thank you so much. It's been, I think you have it.
Thank you, Michelle. I hug you.
Good job. It was excellent tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's awesome to share it with fellow students. I'm glad you're here. Oh man, I'm getting so emotional right now. All right, any questions? Anyone else? You're all free to go, by the way. I love you all. Lynn was like, I'm out. Anyone else, any shares, or we can call it a night. And if you have any questions, you have my email address, you know how to find me, and you know how I can support you. Let me know how I can support you. And Michelle, so awesome to spend time with you, and Blake and April and Robert, nice to see you, and your beautiful daughter. We'll get to see more of you for the next 10 weeks with class. And Lisa, thank you for being here. Now you get to see even more information. You're getting more clear about all this stuff. Was it helpful? Yeah. Okay. She's like, I'm quiet now. Okay. Okay. All right. Do you want to say something? Or are you good?
No, I'm good, but it was great to be here again. And
Awesome.
just there's so much on the first call that some of the things you went over, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, very good. So thank you.
Yeah, it's like reading a book. They say to do it several times, because each time you read it, you're a new person. So each time you hear it, totally. All right, I send you all love. I send you off to bed. Any last questions, feel free to ask me. Otherwise, I love you all. Thank you for being here, and many blessings to your life and your path and your purpose. You're all beautiful. Love you, Crystal. Love you all. Mwah. Thank you, Blake.